Mid news. You might not need this.
Hey, welcome back to Mid News. This is Darnell. Thank you guys for tuning in. We're going to jump right into this. Sudan is displaced 18 million people at this moment, and a lot of starving children, basically starving, so have adults. It's also been hard with a lot of Sudanese returning to Sudan and outbreaking wars, famine, and just the currency also dropping. If you want more, here's a clip.
Some say they're fleeing the violence, abuses against civilians, targeting of populations or sexual violence, and others say they've left just because the conditions there in Sudan have become unlivable.
Sudan's civil war has forced about 8 million people from their homes and left more than twice that facing acute hunger. These mothers are seeking help for their children, having arrived at this transit camp in the border town of Renk in South Sudan. Nyakwot Gadloak says she was among the first to flee the fighting almost a year ago. She's been in the camp ever since and gave birth here to Nyachang. She says her husband died. The red shows Nyachang's arm is far too thin for his age. He's severely malnourished.
By that clip, and if you want to check out the article, check out the article and all the clips that's being shown right here. I feel sorry for the Sudanese people and the Sudan people. Starvation, children starving, people being displaced, war. It's not fair to these people. They don't deserve that, especially children starving. Like, honestly, parents go above and beyond to make sure their children can eat. If you can go above and beyond to make sure you put food in your stomach, your child at least has to have something. So pray for these people. They say the United Nations is not getting enough donations, but for some reason, when you check the United Nations website, this year, a lot of countries have already donated so much money to the United Nations. Where has that money gone? What are they doing with the money? That needs to be talked about, and I don't think it is. If you want to help the Sudanese people, I'm not sure how you can, but if there's a will, there's a way. Check out the links in the description. Check out the articles. Watch the BBC news down below, and let me know what you think. Donald Trump attempted assassination was foiled. I'm gonna cut for a slight second and say this one thing. No matter what your political leaning is, your political side or what you believe in, no person should just be assassinated for those beliefs. It doesn't make any sense. Regardless, the person that tried to shoot him was a registered Republican in the state of Pennsylvania. So at that point, people have looked up information. Here's information from Philip DeFranco.
Details. For example, we learned that he apparently tried out but didn't make his school's rifle team. He was also apparently bullied at school and sat alone at lunchtime, with him specifically being mocked for wearing clothes like hunting outfits. Images of the shooter have come out showing that he was wearing a Demolition Ranch t-shirt when he carried out the attack. Right, and that's a gun channel on YouTube with over 10 million subscribers. And going back to the shooter and his classmates making claims, you're the Philadelphia Inquirer saying they spoke to Max R. Smith, who was a former classmate of the shooter, with Max reportedly saying he definitely was conservative. It makes me wonder why he would carry out an assassination attempt on the conservative candidate. Reports also saying Smith shared an American history class with the shooter and remembered a mock debate where their teacher made students stand on one side or another to signal their allegiance, which at the very least sounds incredibly problematic and inappropriate if it actually happened. With Max saying the majority of the class were on the liberal side, but the shooter, no matter what, always stood his ground on the conservative side. That's still the picture I have of him, just standing alone on one side while the rest of the class was on the other.
By all of that, it seems that a kid kind of standing by himself in a class and never budging seems to be a hardcore Republican. Trump is not a hardcore Republican. He's, libertarian, we would say, but he has to pick Republicans because there's only two parties that people care about. The third party always loses. Just kind of how it is in politics. But never shooting at a person is granted or warranted. Now, the bullet may have missed Trump and it hit someone else, and that person was killed, and now they're being dragged across the internet because they said something about Palestine. Quote, they'll get over it, Japan did, which is not something you say to these people suffering at a very pivotal point in time. So yes, this man tweeted out something bad, but God rest his soul, because he tried to protect his family when the shooting happened. And hopefully Trump is okay. We've seen him walking with some little patch on his ear because his ear almost got blown apart and he almost died. So however you feel about that, let me know in the comments below. Watch all the links in the description. And please comment. Do you think politics is getting out of hand, or do you have a certain standpoint on the fence? Oh, YouTubers had a giant creator clash. Let's not the boxing tournament, but Mr. Beast brought a whole bunch of YouTubers together to make a fun, incredible style video, winning money, having fun. Speed shows up, Amanda Cosgrove, and a world-eating champion for some particular reason. The best part about this contest was there was a winner, but there's a clip where Moist Critical talks to Logan Paul and has a quick convo with him. Here's that convo.
Hey, bro.
Hey, nice
How are you, dude? I like your videos, dude.
I appreciate it.
I know you've talked some shit, but...
Everybody hates Logan Paul. Is everyone around Logan just a fucking idiot? I'm always super happy that people don't take it personally. Man.
I don't.
Okay,
I don't.
Thank God.
I understand I'm a and I appear to be a bro. Good to see you, bro.
And also, Prime's pretty fire.
Thanks,
I'm not
bro.
allowed to say that on camera.
I get it, bro. I get it, bro. Talk, bro.
Good luck today, all right?
Yeah, likewise, bro. Likewise.
Just by that clip, you think, oh, Moist is pussy. Moist ain't tough. He don't spit that game. He ain't beefing with him in real life. No, you shouldn't be doing that. And the video got back to Charlie himself, and Charlie reacted and gave his pack of change on top of this information. Let's check that.
Get to that second part where Logan Paul's spiritual pressure sent me to the floor like it was right out of the Bleach anime, and I was just trembling in fear to confront him directly. So, this was filmed a month or so ago, a little over a month ago now. Since then, he is now apparently suing CoffeeZilla. Either Logan or someone on his team is suing CoffeeZilla, which is a massive fucking L. That is brain dead activity for sure. But when this was filmed, that wasn't happening. What was happening was he was publicly trying to make amends with the victims of his CryptoZoo scam that he butt-fucked them all with, and as far as I know, he has been paying some people back, and at the time was still in the process of paying people back through whatever program he set up for it. But there was none of this lawsuit going on, and one of the first things that he said was that he actually deserved all of the shit that he got for it, for all of the mistakes that he made. Ludwig was also there, someone else who was shit on Logan Paul, and Logan was saying something to a similar effect there as well, from what I recall. So at the time, he was in the process of trying to fix all the dog shit that he put innocent people through. And when I talked about this on stream and in the videos about CryptoZoo and what was going on with it with the updates, I had always said, as long as the victims are made whole again and they get their money back, that's a happy ending. But Logan is still a scumbag for ever doing it in the first place, which is something that he also said he deserved everything he got from doing that. So, I have always said as well that I never harbor hatred for someone who will actually change. There's nothing to gain with just holding a grudge forever. That's childish. If someone is actually willing to learn and grow from things, I'm more than willing to break bread with them.
As you see right there, Charlie himself, he doesn't hold anything over Logan Paul. He's like, listen, if you're willing to change, you're willing to be a better person, I can break bread with you and it can be okay. And Logan Paul said it himself. Listen, I am an asshole. I'm come off like an asshole. I'm here to be the asshole. Logan Paul understands his role in life. He's just a dick. He's kind of like Johnny Lawrence. You need to get your ass beat so you could probably figure out life. Except for Johnny Lawrence went the right way. I know it's a bad Karate Kid lesson, but it just is how it is. And I actually understand that more than anyone at this point, right? Because it was just creator class. They were just all a bunch of creators in the same room. And if you make videos about somebody, I make tons of videos about people and say shit. And a part of me is like, hey, I hope you don't take that personal, even though I've come out of pocket a lot of times. But another part of me is like, you take that shit personal, that's a personal problem. But I can't say that either because I come at a lot of people. But let me know what you think about this moving forward. Sticking with YouTubers, Tana Mongeau and Cody Ko. These two content creators are now in a, she's come out and said that her and Cody Ko slept together a long time ago when she was 17 at a creator event in Florida. This creator event, they were both pretty lit. I'm guessing he was, and she was 17 at the time, which legal age in Florida at that time was, at this time is 18 years old. So Cody Ko violated the law. Now we're going to show the Philip DeFranco clip where Tana does go to say, I'm not traumatized by it, which at the time it was something that maybe she wanted, something that she consented to, even though she consented to and wanted that at that time, a lot of more things in her life has changed. Let's tune into that clip.
With Tana herself then further clarifying the claim on her podcast later in June, saying, yeah, people did the right math.
This isn't just some crazy tea. It was a crime. I hooked up with Cody Ko when I was 17 and he was 25. When I look back at the Cody situation, it is, I definitely am like, why was he doing that? You know what I mean? But I don't associate or hold it with trauma because I am such a comparative person where I'm like, so many worse things have happened to me. And that's bad.
Right, with Tana saying that she was such a big fan of his, and as an adult, it's easier to look back and say she was taken advantage of, but she's not sure she felt that way.
Now, a lot of people believe that Tana is going on all these podcasts and she's going on an entire tour raid of Cody Ko just because she can at this point. And now, not to say she's not lying at all. I think that she's telling the truth, and the time that she's told the truth, it's been like so long to the point where she is now at a certain age. He is much older and just pushing the boundaries though. And I do think if Cody Ko speaks out and says the truth on some Dr. Disrespect, like, hey, I'm gonna stand on business and say what I gotta say, and that's it, call it a day, are people gonna respect him more? Are they gonna look at him as a predator? Because around 17, you are technically a minor and you don't know any better. Do you think Cody Ko took advantage of Tana? Let me know what you think. And if you want to check out the Philip DeFranco video, click it in the description below. So Jack Black and his Tenacious D bandmate said something about Trump. Check this.
Make a wish, Canada. Don't miss Trump next time. Thank you.
As Jack Black puts out a statement, it basically goes like this. I was blindsided by what was said at the show on Sunday. I would never condone hate speech or encourage political violence in any form. After much reflection, I no longer feel it is appropriate to continue the Tenacious D tour, and all future creative plans are on hold. I am grateful to the fans for their support and understanding. Jack Black basically came out with this little, lip right here. And a lot of people do believe Jack Black is being canceled for this, but it shouldn't just be Jack Black condoling it. It should the hate needs to be directed towards this man, his co-host. Like, I'm sorry. It shouldn't just be Jack Black getting the heat. It's Tenacious D and everybody else. But Jack Black should have said something on stage, and I think he just kind of walked over it like, okay, I can't talk about this right now. What are you doing? It becomes a bigger situation. But let me know what you think. Do you think Jack Black should stick up for his friend and should put him in his place? Or do you think canceling the Tenacious D tour and all future tours and future creative plans right now is necessary? Let me know what you think in the comments below and what you think of the comments said. In tragic news, a teenager named Slater was found in pieces. Human remains, was found of his body near Tenerife in Spain. He was at a concert, and then after the concert, he stumbled back to his Airbnb, where he was also found a mile away. I'll let the BBC handle this, and you can check the clip right here.
This is the area of Tenerife where Jay Slater was last seen alive. Mountainous terrain where he'd ended up at an Airbnb after a night out. It's not far from here where human remains have now been found, along with his clothes and possessions. Jay was 19 years old and had been holidaying with friends when he vanished last month. A huge search was launched for him by the authorities on the island. From the Civil Guard on Tenerife today says all indications indicate that it could be the young British man disappeared since last June 17th in the absence of a full ID.
Now, we've already seen it's hit the community pretty hard in his hometown of Lancashire. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you, this is the most devastating thing because of friends and family, and these people have siblings like him, brothers, sisters, and you never want them to go missing. I think a community is in roar, enraged, and just want to know what happened. Like, he was at a concert, stumbled back to his Airbnb and fell off the side of a mountain in pieces. Something is happened to him and no one can find out what's going on. So hopefully we get more answers and more updates to this and the whole Cody Ko situation. So please stay tuned and check the description, watch the whole BBC video for yourself, and yeah, thanks for watching. Back to the Middle East, there is going to be, and hopefully not, all-out war with Hezbollah. since Israel's attacks on Hamas and the Palestinian people they've just been trying to lure out Hamas, Hezbollah has also gotten a hit because one of their leading commanders has also died. We talked about this in an older episode, so you can go check that out in the description below or the playlist, wherever the playlist may link.
But death often comes from the sky. Here, full military honours in Beirut for a senior Hezbollah commander killed in an Israeli airstrike. So far, this is a limited conflict, but if it escalates, it could draw in other Iranian-backed militant groups in Iraq and Yemen and embroil the US.
This is a show of grief and of anger, but it's also a show of strength. For months now, Hezbollah has been burying fighters, but it has many more to take their place. And if there is an all-out war with Israel, Hezbollah will be a far more formidable enemy than Hamas.
If there's a ceasefire in Gaza, Hezbollah says it will also cease fire.
If fighting stops, as we just heard, Hezbollah will be more of an actual threat than Hamas. It won't just be Hezbollah, it will be Lebanon and Iran, which will involve the United States at some point. See, it's kind of like the whole Germany situation, right? We didn't get involved until we got pushed and then we got involved. At some point, that's when a 3-out-man war will just come down to it, because even the last Palestinian man said it. This is actually a war, and I didn't say it. He said it from his own mouth. So the Palestinian people know that this is a war. Hezbollah seems to be fighting because they were struck. And if Hezbollah continues to fight and Israel continues to fight, there's going to be actual more problems. That's going to be a war, and other countries are going to get involved that have ties with Hezbollah. So it's going to be an all-out, and Israel might not survive, and that's when, especially if Iran gets involved, which means ISIS will get involved, others will get involved, and then the United States will get involved, turn into all-out devastation. Let me know what you think about this situation, and hopefully, if a ceasefire comes, Hezbollah will step away. I do have to say this one thing, though, when it comes to war and it comes to destruction. We don't want all-out war. I don't think Hezbollah wants that. I don't even think Israel wants that. But Israel wants justice for what happened on October 7th. But a lot of other Palestinian people that are just getting caught in the crossfire don't want that. And if they could give Hamas to Israel themselves and vote in newer people to represent their country. I don't like what's happening, and it's very frustrating. Let me know, once again, what you believe, and hopefully the fighting just stops. Also, last but not least, Eminem's new album came out. I reacted to some of it on my live stream. Click the doobly-doo link and go check that out. I kind of reacted to some of it. YouTube said no and blocked it, but I listened to the album. I love it. He's snapping off that freaking album. He calls Candace Owens a Klans member. Candace Owens. I can't. Personally, let me know if you listen to his new album. Eminem is a lyricist, and still a damn good lyricist at 51 years old, rapping circles around an average motherfucker. I love it. It's incredible. And you got to give it the death of Slim Shady. I think it's Cordon Blanc. It's hard to say that word. I love it. It's incredible. Can't wait to hear what's next from Eminem himself and future just random songs he's on. This could be his last album, who knows. But let me know what you think of all the news in the description below. Check out all the links in the description. Comment, have a little fun. Make sure to like and subscribe. Thank you for coming to Mid News. Oh, one more thing before we go. This is the final words. Always gotta leave off with these. Whatever's happening around the world, friends, family, death, war, famine, remember, you are a lucky individual. You got clean water, as clean as it can be. You got food, you got grocery stores, you have everything at your fingertips. Utilize everything you can because you're a lucky person. Other people will say, you're privileged. No, you're lucky. You're lucky to be born here. You're lucky to move here, work hard here. You are a lucky individual, because privilege is just a word that they use to replace it for luck. And we're all privileged at some point in our lives. I grew up in the hood with roaches and bugs around, and now look where I'm at, this wonderful studio, and you can obviously see things have changed for my life. My channel has changed, and circumstances have changed. But regardless, I'm still a lucky person. Privilege, as people may say, luck, I'll say even better, you know, or timing, perfect timing in life. Remember, don't take nothing for granted. Do as much as you can now, tomorrow, and the next day for your future children and future kids to help other people build up their luck, circumstances, and everything. And from everything you've watched, thank you so much. Peace. Once again, have an awesome weekend.
Mid news. You might not need this.